Hello, No Borders NBDR followers. Joseph Snyder, CEO of No Borders, coming to you on this shareholder update video. And I am coming to you today in a little bit different fashion because we're actually currently shooting product videos and some infomercial content for our No Borders Naturals product line. So I'm actually in studio today with professional photographers and professional videographers. And so we thought we'd take this opportunity and double down and make this update video this way. So I'm telling you that, A, because it's kind of cool and I'm here, and B, because don't get used to it. I'm gonna continue doing these at home on my Zoom recorder, and I'm gonna do that. But for today, we get this one. And with this video being done here today, I am here to talk about our Q1 2019 quarterly financial statement and shareholder information. We are just filing this today. And so all of this information is now on the market, filed with OTC Markets. We as a company have really made a commitment to being proactive with our due diligence and our responsibilities as far as compliance goes with the market and with our financials and with our filings. We've done a very good job of that so far, and we're working very hard to continue doing a great job of that as our financial structures and our businesses grow and become more complex and more detailed. So it does become more complex as we grow the businesses and as we grow various businesses to get all of these things done in a timely fashion and to make sure that we are compliant. We take that very, very seriously. So jumping right into it, again, this update video is coming to you with our Q1 financials. And so we've got a few things to talk about, not the least of which is No Borders Naturals and some of the work that we're doing with No Borders Naturals to expand that product. We just recently announced that we have launched our wholesale and distribution program. So we are engaged with retailers around the country, talking about how we get that product line onto their shelves, working with our graphics and designs teams on display packaging and additional retail packaging pieces. There's a lot of fun things that go on there and a lot of fun engagement that goes on there. And this all that I'm standing in right now, this studio in Arizona, is all about that as well. You know, about us communicating those brand messages, communicating those product messages, and those value propositions clearly and cleanly and beautifully, and sharing them with the world, with our customers, and with you, all of our interested stakeholders. Digging into our Q1 a little bit, you know, we spent most of last year kind of moving the pieces of No Borders around. You know, we acquired No Borders in March of 2018, so we just had our 1-year anniversary of that acquisition. And we spent a lot of time last year cleaning things up and getting things set up to where we were ready to do business and we were ready and able to deploy. And Q1 was really about us hitting the ground running with some of that deployment and working through those a little bit past those go-to-market pieces. And I am really excited to release our information for Q1. In Q1, we more than doubled the revenue that we had for 2018 as a whole. So the growth rates on our revenue for Metadent Supplies, the growth rates on our revenue for No Borders Naturals, some of the other things that we're working on, and some of the go-to-market strategies and sell-through strategies that we have for those product lines themselves, for those verticals themselves, are really starting to show returns, really starting to show legs and gaining a lot of traction. So we are seeing really strong, robust growth in both No Borders Naturals and in our dental division, Metadent Supplies. And as we look at those financials, there's some things that haven't changed that are very, very good. Our dilution is almost negligible. Our float has remained the same. You know, as a listed OTC Markets company, there's some real key indicators in this financial statement that I think really show that we are different by design, and that the business that we're building is being operated differently than some of what you see out there in the market. And as an example, the debt that we do have on the books, the deals that we have made recently with our, close group of friends and family investors, is really non-toxic financing structures. These financing structures are fixed rate financing structures. They're longer term investments by these stakeholders. And in many cases, especially recently, these investments were made out of the money by these investors, which means that they were agreeing to pay a share price that was more expensive for their conversion than the current market price of the day. And that shows that the people who support us and the people that are putting up this financing for us to be able to do these things and bring these businesses to life and bring these product lines to market and scale these product lines at market, that those folks really believe in what we're doing, and that they support us 100%. And we're very grateful for that support, and we really appreciate it. And I think it shows through onto our financial statement. We have solid inventory growth. We have very minimal dilution. The dilution that exists literally is going to people that are either supporting the company with their capital within our friends and family, or going to people who are supporting the business with their work and their effort and the time that they put into the company. And we use a little bit of that restricted common stock for compensation. But then you look at our float, and our float hasn't changed much in the year that we've had the company. It went up 5 million shares to 27 million. So our current float is 27 million and change. And it got there when we made the deal to get rid of the toxic debt that we got with the company when we acquired it in 2018. And we just found out and did a press release last week that investment firm who owned that debt and accepted those 5 million shares and voided out that debt against our company, that they have since exited their position with our company. So they have transacted 5 million shares of our stock over the last 4 or 5 months to exit their position that was owned by that debt from the previous company. And that's fantastic. We would love to have had them say, hey, you know what, we believe in this team, and we've had this investment in here, and we're going to stick it out, and we've got this 5 million shares, and we're going to hang on to it, and we would have loved that, and that would have been an ideal scenario for us. But the fact of the matter is that that's not what they're built to do. That's not what their business is. Their business is to turn capital and turn it into more capital. And so they exited their position in our company for those reasons. I respect those reasons. We don't owe them anything. They don't owe us anything. And we are now free of the burden of having an outside seller sit out there with a large block of equity and continually sell it into the market. And we believe that is a very positive thing for our company. We believe that it's a very positive thing for the valuation of our company, and for us to be able to stably and conservatively and conscientiously grow our value of our company and thereby our share price by doing the work and not having those outside influences constantly putting pressure on the market to impact our valuation and our share price. So, these financials are really an important piece for us as an organization, because they are really, as we would see it, they are our first quarterly financial of us with businesses on the ground saying we're doing these things, we're growing these things. And so we're reporting just over $50,000 in top line revenue. We've got about a 50% margin on that top line. And we've grown our inventory to about $68,000 currently worth of inventory on hand. We've grown a lot of these pieces of the business that make sure that we are positioned to deliver, that we are positioned to deploy at market, and that we are positioned to fulfill orders at scale as they come in. And that was one of the things about the wholesale program that was really important, is not only did we have to identify how does this work and how do we price it and what are the entry points and what are the is it C-store, is it pharmaceutical, is it all of these boutique retail, is it service companies? There's all of these questions that go into how does that product line come to market? What does that look like? Is it shelf ready? But additionally, there's the question of, are we prepared to fulfill a $50, $100, $250,000 bulk wholesale order. And are our supply chains ready to do that? Are we ready to do that? Do we have the financial capacity to do that? Do we have inventory on hand that can absorb that? And we feel very comfortable with that, especially around the naturals business as well as the dental business. Our ability to scale those seamlessly, and our ability to scale those moving forward from a sustainable and repeatable position. So all good things there. We continue to be very happy with Andrew Coldicutt as our securities attorney. We're very happy with Brian Campbell from Now CFO for the financial and bookkeeping and compilation work that they do. A giant thank you to Cynthia, our Chief Financial Officer, Chief Operating Officer, for everything that she does every single day. And this wouldn't even make it on the internet without Chris and the Chris Brown and the No Borders Labs teams either. So there's a lot of work that's going on. We have many, many, many really fun, exciting things that we are working on. But as a company, this is a moment for us of standing up and saying, we are moving forward and we're focused on revenue generation. We're focused on sales growth. And those are the things that we are going to judge ourselves on quarter to quarter as we move forward. We are not the kind of company that wants to continually look at how we find the next fundraising tranche. That's not something that interests us to do. We want to grow these brands and businesses organically. We want to support them financially within our own ecosystem, within the companies themselves. And our company, No Borders, our publicly traded company, NBDR on the OTC market, is the parent vehicle of all of these things that we are working on and all of these things that we are doing. And to stay active and current and communicative, to stay on time and compliant with all of our filings and everything else, that is an entire workload and an entire motion in and of itself. And so I'm very proud of our team. I'm very proud of all of the people that we have who put in the work and the hours every single day to make this a reality. So thank you again for coming and checking out our company. Thank you for following us. Please make sure you follow our YouTube. I am most active probably on Twitter, but you can find No Borders Naturals, No Borders Labs, MetaNet Supplies, and No Borders NBDR, all on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and as I said, please do follow our YouTube channel where all of these videos live. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day.